Hey, Juke, that's fresh.
Yes, sir. What's good? What's going on, everybody? How you doing? How you feel? Welcome to another Old Head Sports Talk. I am your esteemed host, OldManOnDaStix. Man, round of applause to everybody for pulling up on me. One time for the one time. So, first and foremost, I want to say thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be with me, so I appreciate it. Number two, don't forget to gotta shout out the family. You know what I'm saying? Always go check out on Mondays, Maize Out Mondays, and check out the family, Maniac. Check out Johnny, JLJ. Everybody's on, man. All the links in the description below. You can check them all out. Check out Liche as well. Just a great family. We all together. Now, listen, I did not leave. I did not go to the transfer portal. I am literally finishing out my degree again because I got a degree already. I'm finishing out another portion, changing my concentration to IT networking. So that's why I'm not there on Mondays like I should be. But either way, that's still my family and I'm still with them, man. So you know what I'm saying? Round of applause for them boys. Now we got some things to talk about. There's some exciting news coming on Michigan way. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of things in the transfer portal that's going on that's kind of unique. And it's just a lot of stuff we got to go over and we got to cover because Michigan's doing some great things, and in the same token, a lot of good things are starting to turn around and come back to us because I know a lot of people was worried when we seen 20-something people in the portal. We was over here like, oh, Lord, it's all over. But it's not. You know what I'm saying? You got to let things marinate, let the situation take place before you start, you know what I'm saying, prejudging. So we good now. Now, what I can say is this. If you have not, man, and you like the content, then, man, come on, man. Go ahead and subscribe to your one time for the one time. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out, and it helps the channel to grow to get more like, you know what I'm saying, the people like yourself, all the Michigan fans, and just college football, sports fans in general, man. Speaking of which, shout out to them boys, man. Shout out to the basketball squad, boy. They had a heck of a game. It was kind of close, you know what I'm saying? Had me nervous, but we still came out on top, beat Penn State 74-72. So shout out to the basketball. Still undefeated, 14-0. You're going to have games like that, but they built for adversity. Now, with that being said, man, let's get right into the news. Let's get it cracking, man. Let's get it cracking, right? So, we have finally know who is who and where is where and what is what. Oh, what's up, Dave, man? Good morning, brother. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, Dave? What's up with you, brother? He said, I'm upset, Maize. What's good? What's good? What's good, my brother? How you doing? Maize Out Sports, Funky Creole. Good morning, big dog. What's up, man? Good morning, chat. Hey, good morning to all. Yes, sir, we are here. So we got to talk about it. We finally know who our staff is. You know what I'm saying? Round of applause for that, because we was nervous. Things was going up and down. We didn't know who was going to be who, what was going to be what. So it's all complete now. We happy about that. We ain't got to worry about that no more. So with our staff, if you don't know, let me put these fine gentlemen up here. Because you know what I'm saying? We dealing with what? We dealing with that Michigan news, baby. We dealing with the Michigan news. So I'm going to put these fine gentlemen up here so y'all can know who it is. And if you don't know, I'm going to go over the list real quick. So we got the big dog himself up top, Whittingham, you know what I'm saying? Senior head coach, the guy. Then behind that, we got OC Jason Beck, which we've been saying from the beginning he was going to be our OC. We just had to let things pan out. Then our DC, Jay Hill from the BYU. Great look. If you have not, go check out film on BYU's defense so you can get a similar understanding of how we're going to be, especially with the players that we have. So it's going to be a good little look because, again, we're going to run that 4-2-5, and anytime he wants to change it to a hybrid, it's going to be a 4-3. So the 3-4 is completely gone. So know that you're going to see a 4-2-5 and a 4-3. So basically, we're always going to have four defensive linemen on the line at all times. You will never see 3 again. Now, will he mix it up to have 3 rush with an outside linebacker? Of course. It's all about scheming. But at the end of the day, you're going to see 4 hands on the ground when it comes to us. So that's a good thing. 4 on the line of scrimmage at all times. So that's always good because that creates pressure on the offensive line. Then, for Bryce himself, we got, you know what I'm saying, Coy Detmer, because he needs a QB coach. And I'm glad we got one. Dave says, so you saying a real coaching staff? Hey, listen. Hey, Dave, listen, man. Hold on, Dave. Hold on, dog. I'm not saying, let me clear this up. I'm not saying that Sharon, his tenure wasn't a real coaching staff. What I'm saying is like, I've always been saying this from the jump, and I'm going to still keep reiterating it. He was new, and this was his first head coaching job in general. And so with you being new, you haven't necessarily networked. When you're a positions coach, you only know who's around you. You got, you know what I'm saying, you talk with others, like when you're recruiting and stuff like that, or y'all may be at the field, but you don't necessarily have the network like you do coming up beforehand. Like, he went from there to being an OC only for Michigan. All he knew was Michigan. I felt like he should have been a head coach somewhere else, maybe a East Carolina, a Ball State, or whatever it was, to start sinking his teeth into how he's supposed to be, understanding his philosophy, what his philosophy was going to be, not a Jim Harbaugh philosophy, but what would Moore's philosophy be. And then by him doing that definitely would have helped him out as far as how he should have conducted themselves and what to do and not to do, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But since he didn't, the position was too big for him. He said he mastered the deer in headlights look. I'm just saying. Yeah, he did. It was unfortunate, but he did. But that's the whole thing about just having those smaller jobs, to where you start to figure out who you are, your philosophy, and you can build into it. You said facts, he had no identity, and that's the key thing. That was the biggest thing, that he didn't have no identity more recent. By not having no identity, you're trying to emulate someone that you're not. And that's the worst thing you can ever do. Like, if I try to do like Floyd does boxing-wise and try to emulate his shell, it can look good, but it'll never be what he did, because he is the originator. He is who he is. That's his style. He created the defense of how he moves. I can't be Floyd. I can emulate certain things that he do, but I can't be him. And I think the one thing that Sharon probably needed to learn was, it's okay to take certain traits and tools from people, but you can't become them. You still got to mold your own leadership style. And I felt like he wanted to be him because he seen that was effective, instead of trying to figure out who he wants to be. But I still wish him the best, and I feel like he got time to bounce back from this. Hopefully he doesn't have any felonies on the record, and they give him like first-time offenders or whatever it's going to be. He can clear his name. And then from there, he can get back to coaching. At a smaller school, I'll probably give him a chance, and then just grow again. And just do the right thing. Sometimes you got to fall, man. And then once you fall down, you dust yourself off, get back up, you'll be good. So that's how I look at that. He said, I'm surprised he didn't implement a mix of Bob Stoops. And again, like, he could have, but again, let's just, who are you really under? Like, you know what I'm saying? And who really took the time to try to develop you? And I feel like that's why Jim Harbaugh, making him the assistant and just believing him to be an offensive coordinator, I feel like that's what kind of molded him, because Jim gave him his opportunity, but he still didn't have a philosophy of who he wanted to be. He really just went off of what Jim said. You know what I'm saying? But either way, that happens. So now let's go to our running back coach, right? Tony Alford. Round of applause for not losing that guy. Because, oh, Lord, we needed him. And if you don't know, Savion Hyder is already on campus. And the Joker look like he been there 2 years already. Joker big as a mug, man. I'm telling you now, that Joker bigger than the cats that's already been there. If you don't know, now you know. You know what I'm saying? And then we got our wide receiver coach. We got our wide receiver coach and the assistant. The wide receiver coach is Micah Simmons, who I said it would be, from Utah. If you don't know, we really took everybody from Utah to a certain degree. And then we got Marquez Haggins, who is the wide receiver coach for Penn State, and now he's over here with us. So I don't know if y'all see it this way, but I definitely see it this way. Hey, you got bespoke posts? Hey, listen. I need to listen. Hey, I need to get that because that's my dental clinic, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like that cup that they gave me, so I always drink my coffee out of it. You know what I'm saying? But if you notice, I feel like he got 2 wide receivers because he knew for a fact we needed that. He was a great player at VA. Okay, cool. I believe that too. I believe that, Maurice. I definitely need that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I believe that all. And that's what we kind of need. We need these great players, man. Hold on, man. This thing done messed up on me real quick. Let me fix this. Because I promise you, I need that back up. There you go. And so he knew, I feel like Whittingham knew, like, boy, we going to need some help with that wide receiver room and to get them where we need them to be because we need them to develop like ASAP. So he was like, let me get 2 guys there. That's how you know Michigan got somewhat deep pockets and you can get a staff that you need to be successful. But you better be successful because if they cash out, if they doing this, just know they're going to be doing this if you messed up. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, yep, strength and conditioning. Hey, that's a definite upgrade, Dave. The strength and conditioning was a definite upgrade. Then we got our tight ends coach, which is Freddie Whittingham, the brother. You know what I'm saying? Then we got our O-line, one of the best O-line coaches in the land, Jim Hardy. You don't believe it? Man, go look it up. He is one of the best offensive lineman coaches in the land. Everybody already said that. Then with the DN, we got Lewis Powell, which was a definite pickup for those edge rushers. And then we got Louis Esposito, you know what I'm saying? Familiar family. And he's going to be the defensive tackle. So we got two people working that line. That's either a good thing or a bad thing. But either way, I'm here for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then we got DB coach. We got Jannard Guilford, who came from BYU. I feel like he's going to be pretty good. And the last good hire by Old Sharon, which this dude immediately had effect and he was cooking, was the special teams coach, Kerry Combs, man. If y'all didn't notice that man was cooking immediately, right off the jump. The special teams was night and day from what we had compared to what we got right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I seen that immediately. If you didn't see that change, I don't know what to tell you. But the best thing is we got the strength and conditioning coach. If y'all didn't see the interviews with Whittingham, which I tell you, I would advise you to just go check out because he's done a lot of interviews. He's making his rounds right now. And right now he says we're going through, they're about to go through the most important phase, which is the winter phase, right? And so the first phase in the winter is strength and conditioning. So they in the weight room. They about to get it. Like, and if you don't know our coach, Whittingham be in the weight room too, pushing 225 at 66. So he ain't too shabby. You know what I'm saying? The old man still get in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's going to be a plus for us, starting to get these guys conditioned with mental toughness as well as physical. But the mental is going to be key, and I feel like that's the one thing that's going to be implemented with this new coaching staff is they're going to be all about being tough and physical. So I'm excited to see where we go from here, and it's just going to be a beautiful thing, right? Now, we also got to talk about some other Michigan news. Let's talk about the people that the portal, man. Let's talk about the portal. Right? We're just talking about the portal from people leaving. You said huge upgrade. Best running back and O-line coach, 100%, Maurice. I definitely agree with you on that. Period, point blank. That's just what it is. The best. Now we had 21, well, as of, it hasn't updated yet, but we had 22 people in the portal, right? We had Young jump into the portal, which was very shocking that he jumped into the portal so late. Klein, what are you doing? Hey, we gonna get to Klein. Dave. Hey, man. The man we gonna talk about that. So we had 22 people in the portal, right? What shocked me yesterday was the late portal entry of Jordan Young. I didn't see that happening. I didn't see Jordan Young going. He was a freshman. And while he showed flashes of him being he can evolve into a good player, he still made a lot of mistakes too also. And so I guess he felt like he played well enough to stay in that position. But then in the same token, we already knew that Rod Moore was possibly coming back because he went down to injury. Well, just not feeling like he was at 100% to play, so he only played that one game. So he should have kept his eligibility. And so since he did, he's coming back. And the key is for him to have confidence in his knee. If he has confidence in his knee, we already see what he can do. The man played one game, I think one, maybe even two, but he got 2 interceptions immediately. We know that Rod can see the field, and he knows where to be and how to catch that ball at the right point. So we know he's that guy. And so I guess with that, and the guys coming in, because we had like a 4-star safety coming in that was a freshman, and I guess he just felt like he didn't want to battle for that spot, which is it's crazy. Or he could have left because we got rid of the DB coach, and he felt more comfortable in that system with him than just having a new DB coach and after having to prove himself to be in that position, right? But it is what it is, because at the same token, it could have been the simple fact that we may be going after the safety from Utah too that's in the portal, which we'll talk about later. But that's what it was, and that's what happened. Now, the key thing is too, is him leaving was kind of interesting. Terry says, "What's going on?" Hey, what's going on, Terry? Man, how you doing, my brother? Zeke Berry, put your left foot in and put your left foot out. Hey, Zeke Berry, he learned a valuable lesson. Like, and we're gonna talk about that one too. So, with us having 22 people in the portal, it is what it is. But now we don't have 22 people because, again, people that's in the portal, they haven't officially took them out yet, but they've already claimed that they're not leaving, right? And so that's a good thing for us, especially when we get to who it is. But then let's talk Justice Haynes. It's a possibility that he's staying, which is, I believe, why Jasper Parker left, because he seen Xavier Hyder coming in, and he seen him and was like, man, he the same size as me, and I'm older. So I'm pretty sure he was like, oh, man, bro probably going to start over me. And then in the same token, it just didn't pan out for him like it should have. And so he went and committed to Arkansas. Now, hey, I wish him the best of luck down there. They definitely gonna need him, and he'll be in a program where he can get some tick for sure. And then now let's talk about who we got, right? Because like I said, the portal was there, and they were in the portal, and then, you know what I'm saying, they started making these new posts. What was these new posts? Let's talk about it, man. Jake Garnera, man, the first one, he made the post like, look, man, let's effing go. I'm going to say freaking just because I don't cuss, you know what I'm saying? But he was 147. That's the team. He said, let's go. So we kept Jake, right, which is a good thing. Then who backed that up? Then we got Frazier. Frazier said, let's go. So that's 2 offensive linemen that we thought we were losing that we got back. Then we still got freshman that was out there he could have been the starter this year, but he got hurt. But even him, Babylona, said, let's ride. Like, he was ready to go. So this is all positive. And then Link, who said, I thought about it, but I'm not doing it. Link said, let's go. So literally, our offensive line looking pretty good again, because we got our center and we got some guards and some tackles. We're looking pretty good. And then lo and behold, the man himself, Bryce, already said, let's go, right? So with all these guys staying, that only did what for us? That started to boost the momentum, right? So the momentum started to just start to show, because we kept every single person. Now, what's keeping these people was key, because by that domino effect, Barry withdrew from the portal, because I guess he tried to test it and see what he could get. And from there, he looked and was like, yeah, I probably got a better opportunity if I just stay here and fight for a starting position at Michigan, or fight to keep my starting position, than sitting here going to the portal and probably going to a lesser school where I may not have the same opportunity. So I felt like that's what he did. He said, don't forget about the big boy Andrew coming. Oh, no, I ain't listen. Listen, I already know. I already talked about Babalola, man. We got him, Dave. And then Andrew Marsh, the news came out last night. He's staying. I kind of figured he was staying once Bryce said he was staying, because them two is thick as thieves. So if one's going to stay, we pretty much going to get the other. So now we got Andrew Marsh, we got Garnera, we got our offensive line intact. We got Barry there again. I feel like we're in a good state, and I feel like now that core that he has, I feel like Whittingham can really cook. You kept majority of the people you wanted to keep. We still got a few that's out there that I still feel like testing the water and may come back, like a Sullivan and stuff like that. Only time will tell. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is the new college football. If you're not going to, if I can't negotiate an increase in pay, then I'll test the portal, see what my market value is, and then tell you, can you match it? That's just what it is, man. And since we don't have any bylaws or any rules to this thing, that's what kids doing, man. What up, Alan? What up, dog? How you doing, family? So since they have it this way, this is just what we're going to have to deal with. And this is just going to be a continuous thing. Like Whittingham said, Coach said, you got to keep reselling the program to your team. It's not just recruit them one time and be done. You got to recruit them every single year now, because there's so much backdooring, so many agents out here talking to other schools like, hey, what would you do for my player if he decided to check you out? So, because the agent's job is to get you the best opportunity where the money at. So that's where we at. Like that's where college football is at. It's unfortunate, but that's where we at. So now that we said that, you know what I'm saying? Now we talked about that. Let's talk about one of the most important things. He says, Dave says, you either in or you or you in the way. Hey, big facts. I agree with that. I agree with that, Dave. I'm old school. When I give you my word, that's my word. Like, even when I talked to my son, I was like, hey, man, anytime you give your word to somebody, you can't be wishy-washy. But I understand the climate that we're in, because coaches leave. Everybody leaves, man. So this is just the climate, which we're going to talk about right now, because we are about to talk about the transfer portal, man. Now, before we talk about possible targets for Michigan, let's talk about a side of the portal that nobody talks about. And what do I mean by nobody talks about? The portal, we always talk about people who enter the portal. We never talk about players who are forced into the portal. Because there's some players where the coach is like, I don't think it's going to work for you. And then they tell you got to go. You see what I'm saying? And we never talk about that happening to players when it does happen a lot. And so that's the one thing where I feel like we also need to be able to understand why players and these kids act the way they do, because at the end of the day, sometimes they get forced out of the positions that they're in too. They want to stay, but they're like, nah, you got to go, because we're recruiting guys at the same level, and we don't think you can compete. So sometimes you get pushed out, and it just happens that way. He said, I just want to say that I am happy that I found this channel. Hey, Terry, I'm happy you found it too, brother. I definitely appreciate you. Now, we already know who we was going for initially. We still got a big old John Henry. We got to get John Henry. Hey, man, I'm gonna keep calling that man that. That is by far the countryest name I've ever heard. But he sounds like he can move a mountain. So, you know what I'm saying? We got John Henry Daily, man. Definitely at Edge. I haven't heard too much about him. Been trying to find more information about it. Been searching sites. They haven't said too much about his recruiting. But, again, Michigan is the crystal ball to be on his target list, obviously because of our continuity with the Utah staff and us switching over, right? So that's good about that. Then we got Smith Snowden, which is a corner from Utah. Very good corner. Would love to see him come here. Definitely would love to see him, because I love my corners, but we you know what I'm saying? We get the double move smokes us, man. And Whittingham already said it's going to be some man playing. So if we're going to be playing on man, I can't keep getting cooked on a double move, bro. I need you to, you know what I'm saying, stand your ground. Swivel your hips, turn your hips to the left, make sure that you don't square up, so that you can adjust properly. But if you keep getting cooked on that double move, we're going to be in trouble. I also believe that, and this is a possibility, if we do get a plethora of corners in that commit during this transfer portal, then maybe Barry goes back to safety. Because if y'all remember, Barry was a safety. He came down to be a corner, but he was actually a safety. So maybe he pushes back up there, and I feel like that's good for him too, because safety's visions are totally different than corners. Like, and I feel like he plays a lot like a safety. He's able to react when he sees something compared to having to react as it goes. Not saying he hasn't been playing corner well, because he made some plays, and then sometimes you get burned. That's the position in general. But I feel like he would be a better fit at safety. So if we get Snowden in there, I think that frees up Barry to probably push back one. And then we got Teo Johnson, which is a safety from Utah as well. I don't know how this is going to work, but he's a definite nice player. He said, Dave said Earls. I know I forgot about Earls. I definitely forgot about Earls, Dave. But I feel like Earls going to be a corner. But I don't know. I think Sanders kind of beat Earls out. I think Sanders jumped him, bro. Like, just a smidget in just production and what he was doing, because Earls was the man until he did that backflip and hurt his ankle. once he did that weird celebration and got hurt, Sanders slid on in. And then from that point forward, Sanders took over until it was like the second, unless it was garbage time, and then Earl got in. So it could have been a bad move on him to mess up. He said if Snowden and Barry goes, if Snowden commits, if we get Snowden, he goes back to safety. That's what I was thinking too, Maurice. I feel like he'd just be better to be back at safety because he sees things a lot better back there compared to if he was just playing the position that he was playing, because I feel like he can do a lot better at safety, just being honest. Now let's talk about this. Because, the other state is going through a lot of issues. They got a lot of people leaving, you know what I'm saying? And they going to have some people commit. We already know that. But they got a lot of people leaving. And there's one person in particular that I'm kind of high on. And why am I high on this individual? Because he was high on us. We was on his top three. The top three that he had was Michigan, the other state, and Penn State. That was his final three to decide from, and he picked the other state, right? But when he picked them, I guess they sold him a dream, and that dream didn't necessarily come true because he hopped in the portal as a freshman, 5-star. Now, he was a 5-star player. Who am I talking about? Quincy Porter. Wide receiver, 6'3", twitchy guy. Definitely listen. And I'm pretty sure he's seen the fact that of what Marsh was doing and was like, man, I could have went over there and had a better opportunity, dog. Because Marsh was cooking, and if we would have had Porter on the other side, which is a possibility, even though we had McCulley, or McCulley, however you say his name, I always make Cooley, I don't know, McCulley. That other position, X, was wide open. We already had our Y, but X was wide open and literally could have been Porter. So now he's jumped in the portal. I don't know per se if Michigan will go after him, but I know we need receivers. And why not go after an individual that you were in the top three for? But in the same token, I got to pump my brakes on that because if I have a tried and true person that's out there, I would definitely pick tried and true over having to develop somebody. You see what I'm saying? Because he didn't get any ticks, so we don't know what we're really getting. I would definitely bring him in if he's willing to come here. But if I had the opportunity to get somebody tried and true, then I would definitely want to get them instead, because then you know for a fact, you know what you're getting out of them. Like the kid from Oklahoma, he's transferring, and but in 2 seasons, I don't like how they did his stats, because in 2 seasons they said he had over 1,400 yards. I don't like when you do 2 seasons together, man. You said Broder is going to get his shot. I don't know. Like, look, I think with Broder, right now everybody has a shot because you have a new coaching staff. The coach is not committed to anybody, so it's really your work ethic and what you show, and your IQ level. If you can show all these things and you're grasping the concept of whatever the coach is trying to get across, then obviously he's going to put you higher on the depth chart. Because all he can do is go off of what he sees. That's the whole thing about getting a new staff. When you get a new staff and you've been sort of in the background, you have an opportunity to really push yourself forward because it's a free for all. Like, everybody got an opportunity to jump. But if you just sit back and watch everybody do something and you're not doing nothing, then your opportunity may be few and far in between, and you may lose it. Now, Michigan definitely has freshmen that we've picked up, but in the same token, we constantly out here. You say, what about that receiver? Oh, so the receiver from Auburn, hey, listen, man, he outside. Allen, we ain't getting him. I think the Neal deal for him was like, if I seen it was like 2.8 million. He was either 1.4 or 2.8. I think it was 2.8. We ain't doing that. I can promise you we ain't doing that. And that's number one. Number two, all the schools he visited, none of them was in the cold. And I think he committed to Texas, or he might be going to Texas. Like, because Texas will throw that money at you for sure. He said I would take Maurice said I would take Porter as true X, and plus he learned under Hartline, yeah, for sure. And then Porter and Marsh plus our backs, yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, it depends on for him to be there. I know he can route run. I know he understands a certain thing. But with him being gone, him leaving, with Hartline leaving and going to USF, he took some people with you. If you seen Hicks, hey, he took some people with him. I know Day is pissed, but he took some of them players like, bro, I'm gonna go get some tick down here to try to make a name for myself. Terry said, who's gonna be back up for Bryce? You. you can be the backup for Bryce. Because, hey, we need somebody. I don't know who they going to do. I don't know who's going to take that backup role, but we definitely need a backup. You said anyone paying attention to what Indiana has already done in the portal? I was just going to bring that up, Dave. Listen, Cignetti ain't playing no games, bro, at all. Cignetti is not playing no games. They're number one right now in the portal. They are cooking, and I'm talking cooking. They getting whatever they want, and they're taking players and, hey, man, come over here. You going to learn our system, and you going to run it. Because, again, it's hard for him to recruit right now, so his best way to form his team is going to be through the portal, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's getting players that people say they don't want, that they feel like they can't use, but understand football and have experience and put them in a system that's tried and true. That's technically what you got to do. Sometimes you don't need the greatest players. Sometimes you need experience. And people don't realize, like, experience can beat talent. As we see, Indiana's a very experienced team, and they just beat a talented Alabama team, and I'm talking about beat the brakes off of them. So experience is always better than talent, especially when it comes to college football get to high level, because just because you're talented don't mean you understand football yet and the X's and O's. Like, your talent got you thus far, but now you need to grow. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like that's a thing, and that's why it just Cignetti, Indiana's got he's got a way of doing things, and it's working for him at the moment, man. And so we can't be mad at that. But just know, for Michigan, I would love to see what we're looking at in the portal, because they ain't saying nothing. It's like it's church quiet. But I know they're cooking in the portal. I know they're doing it, but they're just not letting us know. You said, yeah, he can pay me in lasagna. Hey, listen, you get your old butt out there and suit up, boy, when them young men hit you from the side, your whole left side going to be on fire. You're going to be in the ER for weeks. You better sit down somewhere. you ain't ready for that. But that is a good question. They're going to have to get a backup out of the portal. Speaking of which, did y'all see what happened with Washington? Washington signed their QB. I think my man name's Williams. Deshaun Williams. Yeah, I think it's Deshaun. I might be saying his name wrong, but it's Williams. They signed him initially to a deal to stay at Washington. And what did he do? He's like, oh, yeah. Now he in the portal. Listen, right now, QBs, there's some good QBs in the portal, and people who thought they were going to do good in the portal are now just looking out the window, hoping somebody called. Because I know when Dylan Raiola jumped in there, not knocking Dylan Raiola, let's get it I'm not knocking. I don't knock none of these young men. But I know when he went in, he had high hopes of being like, okay, I know I'm going to get picked up. But then you started seeing DJ Lagway, Sam Levitt, what was Ole Miss's quarterback, Alex. You start seeing all these names, you're like, oh, man. And you just start watching your name go lower and lower and lower to where now it's so much talent in there quarterback-wise, boy, you in trouble. So the oven's on, but we can't see what's cooking. Hey, Dave, they ain't turned the light on yet. He said, pay me in lasagna. LOL, I'm still in that. But that's what it is. So we don't know what Michigan's doing, but I do have good faith that they're out there looking for something. Like they know what they need. But as far as a backup quarterback, I know we're gonna pull somebody out the portal because we lost 3 quarterbacks. I think we lost two or three in the portal. I know we got Jaden Davis leaving. I know we got Keene leaving. And I feel like somebody else. Now, I don't know about Kirk Herbstreit's son. He could definitely be a backup. I don't know how good he is or whatever it is, but in the same token, we still got people coming in too. So, but if you want a decent backup that can really take control of it, and just in case Bryce does go down, knock on wood, hopefully he don't, but if he does, you definitely want somebody that's going to be able to take over. He said, wasn't there someone from either Illinois? I don't know, Terry. I don't know who they looking at, like, to be honest, and that's the key thing. I definitely don't know who they looking at, but we'll see. You said Bryce needs to be pushed. I 110% agree with you, Dave. I definitely say that. Davis Warren left also. Yeah, Davis Warren. That's who it was. Bryce needs – sometimes knowing you the outright starter is sometimes not a good thing, especially as a young talent as he is. I felt like he needs somebody that was just like that's literally going to push him to be great so that he starts to correct his mistakes and he really focuses on the game. Not saying he's not doing that because it sounds like he is with as much time as he's spending there on film and stuff like that, but I feel like with all the things I heard about Bryce, and I think this is what confused me the most, when they were talking about Bryce was in the film room. As soon as he comes from class, he goes to film, and he'll bring Andrew in there with him. So them two are in film. That's cool. But my biggest question is, who's in the film room with him? Who's the adult? Who is the coach that's in the film room with him? If my starting quarterback and my soon to be star wide receiver are literally in the film room, then me as an OC and the QB coach should be in the film room. Like, okay, yeah, so what did you see here? Now you see your foot mechanics. We want you to do this. Straighten yourself out. Make sure that this is what he needs. Like, we weren't having that. He's just going there and watching film on his own. And so by him doing that, what is he actually learning? He's probably learning to try to read defenses better, but he's not necessarily learning what he needs to know about himself. Even Whittingham, like when they ask, Rich Eisman asked Whittingham, what do you think Bryce needs to change? Like, what are some of the things you're looking for your coaching staff to be able to fix them? That man said spine position.
Oh, my God.
I ain't never heard somebody say spine position. I was like, what? So I'm like, all right, bro. So he's definitely analyzing Bryce. That man talking about the way he positions himself in general. So when I heard that, I said, yeah, Whittingham going to have a plan for bro. Bryce going to be nasty. He says, with me, Bryce needs to work on the mechanics and eyes downfield. Hopefully year 2 slows down for him. Yeah, it should, Dave. Again, you just heard what Whittingham said. He talking about spine position. So you know for a fact, he talked about his spine position, talked about his footing, placement. He said a lot of things. He said he's a great talent. He said it's just certain things that we're going to key in on to make him better. And that's what you want to hear out of your head coach. He already knows what needs to be done to make that young man better, man. So I feel like year 2, he's going to take a big leap because he actually has an OC and a QB coach that's really going to develop him, as well as the person behind him too. I feel like with the coaching staff we got, everybody's about to take a drastic step forward, and it may shock us to where Michigan may be at because these guys are really going to help our guys develop. So I'm excited about that 100%. But now, y'all know what we got to get to. The most important part that's right now out. Let's talk about these old college football semifinals. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now, I was wrong about one. My bracket got busted. I did not see Ole Miss beating Georgia. And the reason why I didn't see Ole Miss beating Georgia because I felt like Georgia's defense was in the right place. But as I watched that game, I started to see that Georgia's defense was getting mauled by that explosive offense of Ole Miss, for one. And then for two, Chamberlain, he just went to Pluto on them, and he started playing a different level of ball, like especially when he rolled out at least 5 or 7 yards behind the line and then just threw a perfect dime to Wallace, and like the defender was on him like glue, and it still was a perfect pass. Once you see those things start to happen, you like, yeah, bro, you finna lose this game. And with Kirby Smart making a dumb decision about going for it on 4th and 2 on his own 30-yard line, he was down by 3, and it was like 7 minutes left in the game. And I was like, bro, don't go for this. Just kick it. I understand that your defense is starting to get cooked, but kick it and force them to drive the field, if anything. Granted, it may work against you at the time, and they may score. But in the same token, you may be able to slow them down. But he did not. He went for it, didn't get it. They scored, went up 10. And that was basically the ball game from there. Like, that was the worst thing he could have did. You didn't see Ole Miss winning. Neither did Lane Kiffin. Hey, he definitely didn't see them winning. And that's why he failed. But who we got? Who we got first and foremost, man? We got Miami versus Ole Miss. Now, am I going to sit here and overlook Ole Miss again? Probably. But they got Miami favored by 3 points right now. Miami's defense is for real. So this is the reason why they're favored. It's going to be a big test, though, against the number 2 offense. We see what that offense can do, and we see how that once that offense starts to go, it starts to roll. Now, Chamberlain is very effective, only throwing 3 interceptions throughout this whole year. So he doesn't turn the ball over a lot, which is a good thing when he's a QB. But between Bain and Messador, them 2 edge rushers he ain't seen yet. And them 2 jokers is going to be on him like white on rice, boy. I'm telling you. Like, them jokers are going to be trying to get home early and often. Now, will his Will he be able to escape? Will he be able to scramble? Because remember, I said the same thing. Like, I thought Texas A&M would be able to get out of there because of his speed and stuff like that, but they shut him down. So will they be able to do the same against Chambliss? We'll see. You said Ole Miss quarterback will have to use his legs with those savages coming, and the whole thing is even with him using his legs, can he still escape? It's not necessarily a guarantee because them boys, hey, they're considered first-round draft picks for a reason. So I got to give them that respect. And the key thing is Miami is going to lay the boom. Number 8, Thomas, that safety, hey, don't get caught across that middle. He going to lay the lumber. That joker was out there trying to knock paint off of them Ohio State receiver. Listen, he was out there hitting people so hard, tight ends, whoever, that Tate. That man made a business decision. I don't care what nobody say. When that pass came across the middle and he looked and seen Buddy, that man said, oh, no, I'm going to just put my hands out. I ain't going to really try to go grab it. And he still paid for it. Still got hit. But I'm telling you, he made a business decision like, no, I'm not going to get that. That's when you know you laying the lumber down, because when the joker think about it and they don't want to get hit, you done your job as a safety. So I feel like that's gonna come into play. If Miami's defense plays like how it played against Ohio State, man, hey, man, they're going to be tough to beat because they fly around. This is a speedy defense. You said don't forget Irvin. Irvin going to be putting belt. Hey, listen, man. Irvin out there like he's still on that powder, man. He need to chill out. That joker be out there, find me a jersey. I'm taking the belt off. Hey, man, calm down, man. Calm down, man. Man, you in your 60s, man. Calm down. Like, that man, too hype out there. But that's definitely a thing, though. Like, I feel like Miami's offense will be able to score a little bit easier against Ole Miss's defense because that defense it ain't the greatest, but it'll hold up, but it's not the greatest. But the real key matchup is going to be Ole Miss's offense versus Miami defense. However that go is how your game going to go. So, my prediction, I got Miami by 4. That's what he said on that booger sugar. Hey, Dave, for sure. I got Miami by 4 winning that. I got Miami going to the chip. I definitely do. I got Miami going to the chip. I could be wrong. Sue me. Don't put no money on me because I ain't tell you to. I didn't say book it and ship it and you can put the house on it. Don't do that because I'm not good at betting. So, hey, but I do got Miami by 4 from what I'm seeing in that game. I feel like Miami's playing like they ain't got nothing to lose, and they really want it. When you find a team playing like that, even with that speech that Bain said at halftime against Ohio State, he was like, you can see in their eyes, they don't want it. They think that they think it's supposed to be given to them. They don't want it like we want it. They ain't sacrificed like we sacrifice. And boy, when you see it on that field. Now, I ain't gonna lie, second half, the other state had something for them, but it wasn't enough. Now, y'all already know what the next one is. Ooh-wee. Now, they got Indiana favored by 3.5 points, right? But I don't know. Hey, man, you said Carson Beck on his revenge tour. Hey, he better be on something because this is his last one. And they ain't said nothing about Carson Beck in the league, so he got to show out. He got to show out because, again, even in this tournament, he ain't really done too well. Like, think about it. What has he really done? He's managed the game very well, but as far as his numbers ain't jaw-dropping. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really been Miami's run game that's been keeping them in the game and keeping them effective and making them take time off the clock because they're playing a possession game. That's the smartest thing Miami's done. They're playing a possession game. And if you don't notice, when you look at these guys, man, every single head coach has a weird thing that they do that they got from Saban. Like, because all 4 of them coached under Nick Saban, which is a crazy stat alone. That's why Nick Saban's the GOAT. You got 4 semifinal teams, all coaches coached under him and learned from him. You can't even be mad at that. That's a crazy coaching tree. So I feel like all of them took something from him and they perfected it in their way. And so with Oregon versus Indiana, I think what makes me nervous about this game is it's a rematch. And you know how rematches go. We just seen Ole Miss rematch Georgia and get their lick back. The only team this year that's won in a rematch was Ole Miss, and their rematch it shouldn't even happen. But it was against Tulane. Yeah, okay. So Indiana versus Oregon. What do we see? What do we know? I think the most important thing is going to be, can Oregon's offensive line protect more? I think that's going to be the deciding factor, because they look half decent, and I do mean half decent against Texas Tech, but Texas Tech was on them. And if Texas Tech offense could have actually did something with the football, that game could have been totally different, because the only reason why Oregon scored the points they scored was strictly off of defensive play. It wasn't because of the offense. Let's just keep it a buck. If you watch the same game I watched, the Oregon defense really set them up. So, if that's going to be the case, they can't have that in this game, because Indiana's going to roll. Indiana's going to roll over you if you do that. So that offense has to score. We know they're going to like to run, but the whole thing is I feel like just like in the game one, Indiana's going to take that away from you. Like, what are you going to do if you can't run the ball? And you're going to have to keep the hand in more, which means that offensive line is going to have a pass block. The offensive line is not good at pass blocking. We've seen it. Y'all say what you want, but Texas was getting to more. They was making a move out of that spot that he wanted to be in. So I don't know, man. I think that's the biggest question mark for me. And I get it. It's a rematch game. But if Moore can't, if he can't get no protection, then I just don't see them winning against Indiana. I just don't see it. But I may be wrong, but Indiana definitely has it. But again, facing a familiar foe is always going to be the issue. So with me, I take Indiana by 4. I got Indiana by 4 on this one. I got Indiana winning by 4. It's going to be because of their running back and their wide receivers. They you just don't lose to Indiana by one thing. Like they run effectively, they pass effectively. They just do everything very well at a high level. They're very efficient, and it's hard to beat that. And he knows how to manage that team. He's a great manager for that offense. So I just got Indiana winning, man, like by 4. So both the games that I've said, I got Indiana winning by 4, and I got Miami winning by 4. And so for me, it's going to be Indiana versus Miami, which is funny because you have one team that's the Big Ten champ, and then you have another team that finished 3rd in their conference. And look, nobody in their conference even here. You see what I'm saying? You said good picks. I appreciate you, Dave. Hey, that's what I'm thinking. I really think it's going to be Miami and Indiana. Now, we're going to find out tomorrow if I'm wrong about Ole Miss. Is it Ole Miss? Is it Ole Miss? Yeah, Ole Miss and Miami's tomorrow, right? And then Friday is Indiana and Oregon. And what's crazy, I hate this Thursday, Friday games, but I know why they're doing it, because the NFL got Saturday and Sunday, so ain't nothing you could do. That's why I feel like they should shorten the college season, and we should be done before the NFL playoffs start, because now y'all just fighting for slots, and it's just ridiculous. But I understand it's money. I get it. And, so that's my picks, man. That's what we had for the show today. Again, shout out to that Michigan basketball team yet again. The boys 14-0. They escaped by the skin of their teeth against Penn State, but a win is a win. Whether you win by 1 or 41, you still won. And we won 74-72. So it's getting to that time where they're halfway through the season, and they look like they're gonna make a deep run. Hopefully no mishaps happen, but they look like they're going to make a deep run, so we look pretty good there, man. So what y'all think? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all have Indiana, Miami, chat? Or do y'all, or who y'all think? Do y'all think it's going to be Ole Miss? Do you think SEC is going to get locked out of another championship? Or does the Big Ten win a 3rd championship in 3 years in a row? It's possible. Either way, it's possible. Because, hey, they can say what they want about the Big Ten and all that, but we rolling. And I ain't no Big Ten fan. I'm a Michigan fan. But when we talk about conferences, y'all be trying to say, oh, SEC better. Hey, man, all I'm going to say is, hey, we here too. That's it. So we definitely got good teams in here. And that's what I want to talk about too with Indiana before we go. Michigan has to make sure we do very well with this portal. And getting guys in a position where we need them to be, because when we play Indiana next year, that's going to be a tough game for us, because we got to deal with them for sure. It's like a few games I'm not really worried about, like the Penn State game. That's just Michigan versus Iowa State. I feel like we can win that one. I'm not even worried about Penn State. I'm more worried about playing against the other state, Indiana, Oregon, and I think that's our 3, and then Oklahoma. That's the 4 games that I think. If we can come out of that 3-1, I feel like we can make a deep run. I know what y'all thinking though. 3-1, I'm asking for a lot. But hey, man, some things can happen, man. Trust me. Them boys gonna be ready to play. Dave says, just want to see Sig on the sidelines going for 2 when they up 30 and smirk on his face. Hey, definitely don't want to see that, bro. I promise you. Hey, that man, listen, man, I'm telling you, man, when that man hit that, Hoosier, well, I died laughing. I said, man, that man is a weirdo, bro. But he cooking. You can't be mad at him. He cooking. And he may mess around and get some more money because the NFL looking at him right now. Who is that? The Raiders. The Raiders may be trying to get Buddy to come up out of there. I'll be like, nope. All right, man. Whoever goes to the Raiders, hey, first off, before I say what I'm going to say, let me just say shout out to Maize Madman because I know he's a Raiders fan. But that's a dying organization right now. do not send me to a dying organization, bro. Hey, it's gonna be bad out there. They out here firing people after 1 year. Boy, you do not want to go out there, man. He said it's going to be hard for Indiana to beat Oregon twice. I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon makes it to the net. Yeah. Now listen, Alan, I'm not gonna lie to you. I agree. It's definitely going to be hard because you're familiar, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to recreate your scheme to a certain degree and try to take a different approach. But in the same token, Oregon has to do the same. And that Oregon that we seen against Texas Tech, while the defense was effective, what happens when you play a team where the offense is effective? Because that could have easily been a possession game to where if Texas Tech's offense could have just been able to move the ball up the field and just make it a game, getting past the 50-yard line, just moving the ball and then punting it, now we're going to play field possession. You see what I'm saying? So that game could have been a lot closer than what it was. It could have easily been like 10-3, 10-7 type deal, or 13-10 even. So it's really going to come down to how the game feels. And in the same token, let's say this. Indiana, they sort of play Indiana early. I feel like Indiana's a well-oiled machine right now. The Indiana that I've seen against Alabama, hey, man, listen, I don't think Oregon want to see that Indiana. Oh, my God. That Indiana's executing. That Indiana's a problem. That Indiana you don't want to match up with. And I just feel like that if you see that and how they were moving and just effective as a unit and they just imposed their will physically, man, listen, I ain't never seen Alabama get bullied. They got bullied that game. Just by all phases of the game, they got bullied. So if that Indiana comes out, it's going to be tough for Oregon to win it. But I can definitely see Oregon winning the game as well. But I don't know if I'm just ready to see Lanning get a championship, man. I'm just going to keep it a buck, man. Because Lanning just seemed like he the type that if he got a championship, he going to be real irritating, man. So I'll give Cignetti, you know what I'm saying, the 65-year-old, let him get one first before I give it to the young fella out there, you know what I'm saying? Because Oregon already doing too much with 97 jerseys, 800 different gloves, 22 different helmet styles. Man, they got too much green out there, man. Like, they got Nike out there just doing too much. Turnovers always play their yep, exactly. Turnovers always play their way too, yeah. Oregon definitely get over with them turnovers. He said, did you talk already about the Ravens coach getting fired? Why you say the Ravens coach, Terry? Call that man by his name, man. He earned that. He a Super Bowl champion, man. You talking about John Harbaugh. Yeah. John Harbaugh was let go by the Ravens, which I'm pretty sure everybody's seen. And somebody I've seen on X, I was about to say Twitter because I'm old, I seen somebody say, fire Whittingham, hire John Harbaugh. No, thank you. I do not want that to happen, bro. I'm cool with what we got. I promise you I'm cool with what we got. Because he understands the game. He understands what he needs to do. Listen, man, when you've been an NFL coach, it's weird for you to do recruiting. As you can see, Jim Harbaugh could not recruit really, man. He had to make something out of nothing. He couldn't recruit, man. That man stunk at recruiting. And from what St. Brown was saying, when he went up there now listen, we talking about St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown When he went to visit Michigan on his official visit, that man said Jim Harbaugh was weird as hell in there. So I don't know, man. I don't know if that's gonna be a good look, man. He said, so they may make that kick. He still gone. so make that kick. No, he ain't gone. That's the craziest thing, though, Dave. He wouldn't be gone. I think. Well, I don't know, man, because NFL is sort of weird too. It's like about the players too. Like if the players feel like they want him gone, then the players can actually get a head coach fired as well, but especially a star player. Not saying that Lamar Jackson was doing that or anything like that, but if Lamar Jackson was like, I'm sick of this coach, then and Lamar Jackson's the franchise, yeah, he can probably get dog out of there. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But again, man, if you have not, please, please, please hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button, you know what I'm saying? And you can be with the family, be a part of this great family that we building, because we are consistently coming with information about Michigan as we're going to do all year, and we're going to continuously keeping it going. And with that being said, this is my time, family, and I appreciate every single person like I always do. You know what I mean? And until next Wednesday, we're going to get it cracking in, and we'll see what happens, and we'll see. We'll definitely know. Be talking about the national championship and who it's going to be and who we think going to win it, because if it is who I think it is, then I got an interesting take, man. And it's always go blue, Dave. You already know that. It's always going to be go blue. And so with every single person, man, I appreciate y'all again for pulling up on me. And let's end this show like I end every single one, because without the good Lord himself, there would be no us. And with that being said, if ain't no one told you that they love you today, just know that Jesus loves you, man. Peace and love, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.